Alrighty, we're about to jump into another game. We have Jungle Amumu versus a Jungle Lee Sin. And let's see, for bottom on blue team, it's going to be Tristana Tarek. That's a pretty aggressive lane. From everything I've heard, I still haven't gotten the Facebook thing for Tristana to work, so I don't actually have her. But I hear she scales really well late game thanks to her attack speed boost. Graves, who is on sale this week, is going to be with Gianna. That's a very aggressive lane. They're going to be taking advantage of her shield to help the already beefy Graves get in there and deal some extra damage. I'm guessing Riven and Vladimir are... Riven, Vladimir, top lane, 5 minutes in, and... Okay... Everything exploded. Everything exploded. That Vladimir seems to be doing a-okay. Alrighty, so we are still... doing okay. 3 kills on red team, 1 for Gianna, Vladimir. So that means Gianna managed to get the last hit there for an encounter against bot lane. Oh, they killed the Tristana, but unfortunately Graves doesn't have the extra gold from that. But he has a Boots Dornblade, which puts him ahead of Tristana. Let's see here. Morgana, who I'm guessing is mid lane for blue, probably mid lane for blue. Looked like she was going in there to see if she can do a gank. With her level 6, it's going to be a really reliable way to do that. Riven and Vladimir are messing around with each other. He's carrying blue buff from a unsuccessful gank earlier on. Yeah, Riven's going to be able to block a lot of the damage that he's going to be doing, and he's going to be able to just spell vamp it back up. Let's see right now where are Doof and lots of damage coming from Graves and Gianna using that shield, but Tara can give her some support back. She doesn't really have a lot of lifesteal right now, so I'm not quite sure how her low level sustain is really going to carry. We have Jungle Lee Sin coming in though. Yeah, if he just comes in straight down this lane, there's a pretty good chance he can do some damage. Oop, he is spotted by the blue ward, so blue team, there we go, they've already pinged for a retreat. Oh, and a dead ward. Look at that. Now 3 people beating up a ward. I can live with that. Morgana, Cassiopeia, just Miasma, and let's see, what is that called? Tormented Soil. Yeah, Miasma versus Tormented Soil. This is going to be a hell lane for any minion that manages to walk in it. Just farm on farm. Vladimir has pushed Riven to tower. She'll be losing some valuable CS. Let's see how the CS is going. She's got 38 to Vladimir's 48, so he's winning top lane in terms of money. And he also managed to get a kill from that murder explosion earlier on. Oof, Tarek is tanking tons of damage. Not quite sure why he wasn't trying to get away earlier. Graves just seems to be, and you know what? Every single one of those shots that Graves shot off earlier is going to be granting him extra magic. So he has 10 bonus and armor magic right now, which is pretty good at early levels. Lots of pings going on. Looks like we're going to have a gank up top. We have a gank right now. Mumu walking in and walking out. Not exactly the best gank. Got spotted by that ward. Let's see what's going on right here. Morgana and Cassiopeia landing a successful ult. Landing Twin Fang's ultimate going down on her. Black Shield was defending Morgana. And Lee Sin coming in there to protect her. Lee Sin doing a counter. And managed to kill Morgana while Riven was going to go in there. Gonna try and help, but no, she's heading back to lane. Oof, that is a bad moment for blue lane right there. Too bad Amumu wasn't up there. He probably could have helped. Oof, more harass, and that is a dead Tristana. If he can't get a heal off of any kind. Oof, and she gets away with 5 HP. That's fantastic. Yeah, and they'll just start farming again. Let's watch top lane a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like Vladimir, who's now reached level 8, he starts to really become effective around level 9 once he has a solid item build. He has a spell vamp. He's pushing tower again. And it looks like this is a steady victory here for this Vladimir. We'll see what happens. Riven may have a way to turn it around. Blue buff going to Morgana. She'll need it to try and regain an advantage. Fortunate for her, even though Cassiopeia seems to be doing real great, but she is behind CS. Cassiopeia only has an assist, but Morgana just has a death, so I guess the money for them has got to be similar. So 206, yeah. Morgana's only slightly in the lead. And the aggression begins again. Black Shield making sure... Oof! Not stopping the poison. Stopping some damage. Oof, missing with that Dark Banding, Twin Fangs, and the Q lands. And Morgana, who has just gotten back into lane, looks like she has been beaten all to hell. Oof, top lane gank. Just a very direct one at that. Scaring Riven out of the lane. Oof, we have an attempt at stealing Raves, but not spotted by a ward or anything. I guess they just realized that she was leaving. Oh, she is standing a ward right now. This could be very bad. Jungle and Mumu is coming up, and they're going to try and flee if they are smart. Dark Binding maybe saving her from Lee Sin. Vladimir ult landing. Going to be doing some damage, but they're now under the tower. Tristan is coming up to help. This will mostly just reset. There isn't going to be any major diving chances that are going to be happening right now. I'm going to follow this Lee Sin, see if he does anything. Oh, planning a ward. Good ward coverage right now for future mid ganks. Let's see, right now Blue is having its standard level of aggression. Oof, the tables have turned. Looks like Graves, who is now standing outside of the healing field of Gianna, is going to regain some health, but not enough. Oof, it was the recent buys. We got Berserker Greaves, 2 Doran Blades, and some potions on Tristana, meaning that she's going to be able to do plenty of damage against Graves. Unfortunately for her, Lee Sin and Cassiopeia are probably going to come in through the back lane right here and tower dive. So here it comes, countdown to destruction. Hopefully there were some MIAs. But no, they have no idea what's coming down on them. Let's see. Tristana trying to farm under bot. When is this going to happen? Morgana and Amumu seem to be knowing what's going on, but it's going to be too little, too late. She's going to be leaping down on that Graves, going to try and get a last-second kill as Tarek is running around, stunning that Cassiopeia, trying to hold her still. Flashing out, trying to get into turret range. A failed Cassiopeia ult, just stunning him. Amumu missing with his bandages, using the black shield to try and get in there. And this is going to be a little unsuccessful dance as Grave gets away very low. And yeah, Tarek doesn't have a lot of health. Amumu doesn't have that much either. And Morgana, see what happens. Oof. Lee Sin trying to score. Oof! And Amumu has with the bandages. Morgana's jumping in there, but she has already burned her ult. Oh, she has her ultimate up and ready. That could be very dangerous, but the enemy team is correctly scattered in multiple directions. Oh man, Dark Binding. Gianna took a bullet for Graves and has just saved his life. He's going to be able to teleport back to base. Oof! Already with a BF sword. He's doing fantastic. Hey! Look at that, missed a gank. Riven coming down mid from top, managing to kill Cassiopeia. That's going to be some valuable gold for her. What kind of build does she have right now? BF Sword, Dagger. So she's going for a pretty damaging build. For a top lane person like her, I would have expected her to start building some more Mogs eventually. This will most likely be a Bloodthirster. There we go, blue team. Capturing Dragon, which is very important for them. They're falling a little bit behind gold, but neither team has lost the tower, and this can go either way depending on who makes the next big mistake. Red team had a very perfect gank going on right now, but they only managed to secure 1 kill, and Riven evened that up right after it ended. So we'll see what happens, and it looks like Tristana is starting to even it out with Graves, even though he has the BF sword right now. We'll see what happens when the trades really start going down. Vladimir is still pushing top, and Tristana is all alone against those Graves and Gianna. This is not where she wants to be. And we'll see how she deals with this right now. It's keeping her from getting valuable last hits. Managed to score 1, but Graves is going to make her pay for it. She's going to do extra damage, almost the equivalent of a BF sword. Yeah, especially, yeah. Granting 41 attack damage every time that shield goes on her. Morgana went down there, but was spotted by a ward. But she's going to go right to Cassiopeia. Ult, successful ult, Twin Fang, going down to half. A flash over, terrible Dark Binding, and an ignite. She is going to be going down if she can't do. Oh, look at that! I'm terrible at guessing that. 15 health. That Cassiopeia has got to be cursing her luck. And Amumu is planning wards because they desperately need some more coverage in there. Tarek is back in lane supporting her, and Vladimir maybe going to get double golems. Not quite sure what that ping meant. Or Riven does her best to push back the lane. Mid tower is getting hurt right now. And Riven is going to be pushing as best she can. Let's see what a trade looks up. Yeah, it's going to be some trade. Let's see what a trade looks like between her and Vladimir, who is building GP5 items and a Doran shield of all things. Interesting. Just trying to build up some base health and getting some cooldown reduction. A little bit of AP. Alright, so let's see here. A Riven-Vladimir trade seems to be going in his favor. Yeah, she's not taking advantage of his dash. Let's see here. Bot lane. Unless something explosive happens. Oh. But right now we have Morgana. Now there's a lot of runaway alerts happening right now. Morgana is going back to lane. Looks like Graves is going to be basing right now. He's pushed it to tower with 800 gold. Not quite sure what he's going to grab at his current build. Unless he's building... He could grab like a Vampiric Scepter, which is pretty solid. Oh, or that was teleport bait. Baited me. Ooh, top lane gank. Lee Sin getting out there. Leaping on top of her. Taking tons of damage from Vladimir, and she's not getting away. Vladimir and Lee Sin taking mediocre damage. That Amumu's not going to be able to do anything, and probably not going to be able to do anything. He won't even stay in lane to make sure the creeps don't get pushed. A similar poison dance between Morgana and tons of damage from that Dark Binding landing on the Tormented Soil. Tormented Soil lowers the magic resistance of the target as well, so kind of a cannon-on-cannon fight right now. Bot lane, we have Tristana and them doing the same old dance. Amumu up top. Yeah, he's just going to make sure the link stays pushed. Get a little bit of experience and creep kill for him because he is falling behind, especially considering that Lee Sin is a full level ahead of him. But Amumu is really going to start to shine later on when there's a team fight thanks to his ult. It's up to Lee Sin right now in this kind of laning phase to make sure that he shines. Things are still pretty even. I know that Red Team has 6-1 kills, but the gold is still within a spitting distance of 3k. And if Blue keeps up getting Dragon like they have been and playing smart, they could even this out. Yet again, it's the first person to make a big mistake that's really going to cinch this. Bottom lane seems to be pushing real well. Graves is probably going to be going back right now. Yeah, 1400. Now he has some gold to spend on stuff. Riven is invading the red jungle. They seem to know, so we'll see what happens right now. They don't have a lot of confidence in Lee Sin taking her on. But Vladimir and Lee Sin could easily give Riven a run for her money, but Amumu and Morgana are coming up. We could have a little bit of a fight going on right now. They don't seem to know... Yeah, they have no idea who's there. So, there we go. Leaping onto Lee Sin, who's flashing out of the way. The Amumu ult, freezing them in place. But, of course, everyone hates Vladimir and his ability to get away. Oh, Morgana being melted by a successful Cassiopeia ult. Twin Fangs and Vladimir going in there, taking a final blow against Riven. Oof. What could have been a tremendous gank turned into... just a train wreck for them. Alright, so now Red Team is going to start pushing ahead. Graves has a Vampiric Scepter. He has his pickaxe. Riven is building a Doran's Blade and has finished her Bloodthirster, but that's kind of a panic build right now. And Lee Sin has a Hex Drinker, which would be good for him against Amumu and Morgana, who he's going to be wanting to gank more and more often. Let's see right here. Bot lane... They're having issues, but at least they're holding their own as best they can. They destroyed Vision in their jungle, which is good. Riven's going to be moving back up. Vladimir is going to have an easy push against their lane. So at this point, it almost feels like we're looking for the next red tower that's going to be going down, or blue tower that's going to be going down, and that may or may not be mid lane, depending on how things go. Graves almost blasting that ward, making me cringe in anger whenever that happens. Oh, and the laughs are starting. Right now, he has got so much more lifesteal than that Tristana. Ooh, a successful stun on him. No one's doing anything. Ooh, Amumu comes in there. Does a bandage. They've landed an ignite on him. He's trying his best to run away, and Morgana is going to be coming over. Can she get there in time? Oh, flash over the wall with an ultimate. Oh, I'm missing Dark Binding. That's terrible. But flash over ultimate. Securing the kill. Let's see. Can Cassiopeia do what she does every time? Yep. And she's just going to come over there and do some cleanup. Lee Sin comes in there easily demolishing Tristana, and Morgana runs as best she can after Cassiopeia managed to. And the blue team is going insane, trying to tell their people to run and terror. Oop, Dark Binding lands on Lee Sin, but he managed to land his attack as well. Zooming over to that, trying to keep attack. Yeah, she's done. And now Morgana, can she make it away? She's got no health. Lee Sin is missing with the skill shots, though, taking a little bit of tower damage. Dark Binding lands, but Vladimir is right ahead. What is she going to do? Will she make it? Oh, and she is running up and around, dodging another skill shot. But Cassiopeia is coming here as well. Vladimir, but Amumu has managed to respawn and is running towards her. Can they save her? Dark Binding misses Lee Sin, but scares him off well enough. And now she is going for the teleport. They do not have any idea where she is, and Amumu is going to be doing his best to make sure that he is noticed and that they can leave her alone. But they are starting to take over red jungle, and we have the first ping on Baron from blue team. I'm guessing they want ward coverage. And blue buff. Blue team's blue buff is being taken. Cassiopeia will be the one to walk away with that. Amumu walking into a terrible hole, trying to use his ultimate to slow people down, but that's not going to work. Lee Sin jumping on him. Will we have a similar kind of escape? Nope. And Morgana is going to change her mind. I think her and Riven were going to try and jump in there and do their best to save their ally. Ooh, Tristana manages to take down Graves and bot, which is good for them. Amumu's build, not too sure how I feel about that. Oof! And when did that happen? Riven manages to do tons and tons of damage on that Vladimir. He's probably still hurting from an earlier fight. And they're heading mid. What is she building right now? Tons of Doran's Blades. A lot of Doran's items in these builds. What she should be doing is doing something about the tons of magic damage. They have Vladimir, oh man, and bot lane has been doing great. Not that I've been paying attention to it. And Riven's going to be going back into the jungle since Amumu is dead. Going to take some wraiths. Let's see here. Hopefully she can start working towards... Oof, and an Infinity Edge on Tristana. That is going to be fantastic for her. And blue team has pinged the dragon. This would be very important for them to try and get that right now. But red team is mostly alive. And never mind, I didn't even say that. It would be smart for them to maybe try and bait dragon. But at the moment... In terms of alts, yeah, the alts are all going to be reset at this point. We're going to see maybe an attempt on Dragon. Successful Tormented Soil. Trying to scare them. Tarek. Oh, blue team is separated. Red team is all in one spot. Morgana ult will be fantastic right now. Let's see what she can do. Building the Abyssal Scepter, so she's going to be lowering the magic resistance of anybody around her. Poison lands on the blue team. Are they going to be going for it? So now they're going to try and take a few shots on Dragon. And they've successfully separated blue team. This is very bad for them. Graves and Cassiopeia are chasing down Tarek and Tristana and have successfully pushed them out, meaning this is going to be a 3-on-5 encounter. They need to be very careful. Red team wants blood from Riven, and they need to be pulling out. Amumu is waddling away. Lee Sin manages to hit him, which means he can follow through, but let's see if that happens. Blue team hopefully coming together. And let's see what happens here. Red team takes the dragon, continue to build a massive distance between the two. Oh, and they are leaping down on Amumu. He is absolutely dead, but there's tons of damage going down. Cassiopeia has been absolutely murdered as Tarek tries to run away. Tristana has reached that phase where she's doing tons of damage, but not enough to deal with Graves. And Vladimir managing to survive with that Gianna shield. He's going to be teleporting away. Oof. What could have been a great encounter has led to a 4 death to 2 death. That's exactly how that didn't want to go for blue team. And Vladimir isn't even going to base. He's confident enough in how that all went down that he's going to try and counter jungle, regain some health. We'll see how that all works out for him. He has a Revenant's Death Cap. He has plenty of spell vamp. Well, early game spell vamp from the Hextech Revolver, and he's going to be gaining some extra gold. Let's see how rich he is right now. 900 gold, that's probably why he went to go jungle. Oof, now that everyone's dead, another tower for blue team. This seems to be swinging heavily in blue's favor. Amumu wants to be very careful. Red buff Graves is going to be able to tear him apart, but we do have Tarek and Tristana coming in there. Terrible how that team fight went down for them. But, let's see here. Yeah, the gold difference is right up at the hit tank. It's like it's 7k right now, so it's not good for them. But you know, who knows? Maybe Baron will go to blue team. They're still in the game. They just need to be careful about who they let die. And We'll see who that happens to. Oof. Another blasting one on Vladimir. The build just seems to be really, really great. And Cassiopeia has a needlessly large rod. Well, Morgana does not. Oof, and Lee Sin is going to be leaping on that Morgana. She's going to be hiding under her tower. No summoners burn on Morgana, though, so that's good. Still waiting on Ignite to come up. Right now, it looks like, oof, red team has all of their summoner skills. That means they're ready for any kind of fight right now. Oh man, what was I looking at? Graves still needs Ignite. Ugh. Maybe I need to make my UI a little bit bigger if I'm going to make claims like that. Alright, so it's going to be a 3-on-2 in mid. Support and Graves. Gianna should be up mid. Graves is strong enough at this point to be soloing, and as we see, Gianna's going to be heading mid. She'll be spotting out wards. I don't know why they're pinging for her to retreat. I guess they don't think they need her at the moment. It's going to be all mid for blue against 3 members of red, and at this point they're kind of out-leveling them, but this kind of arrogance. A successful Morgana ult, some damage from Riven could easily melt all these people. Oof, and here comes Graves coming in from the behind. This is right about to be a melted Amumu. Ancestral Dark Binding slows down Gianna. See what Graves is doing. He is caught not out of position, easily joining the herd. We'll see what happens right now. Oof, doing tons of damage to Tristana. That's not the person that they want to be doing. That is definitely not the person they want to have tons of damage on. And will Morgana get caught in the jungle? Nope. Just a lot of dancing right now. So much dancing the red has managed to take wraiths with absolutely no trouble. Really starting to worry right now for blue team. Let's see what happens right here. Lee Sin poking. And fortunately they have Cassiopeia who can just poke, poke, poke. Graves is going to be able to dash in and out, do some bug shots. And just really no one is taking any damage on red team. Well, they're really going to be starting to whittle away at blue team underneath their turret. That poison damage is going to be able to weaken any of them. And if Morgana continues to waste dark bindings on units like tanks and unable to spend time with her own blue buff, they're really not going to be able to counter against. Grave dashes over, but runs back. Yeah, it's going to be a nice little dance we have going right now. And all the while, red minions are going to be pushing against this bottom turret. And eventually that's going to force Tristana, who's off getting the blue buff, so this could go very bad for them right now. She is the main source of damage. They need her to be there right now. Amumu is taking tons of damage. And that Graves ult doing an okay amount of damage right now. Let's see what happens. Graves totally ignoring everything. Successful Dark Binding down on him, and he's going to get melted by Riven. Morgana ult, and Graves goes down, and Lee Sin goes down as well, thanks to tower damage, Morgana, and just about everybody. It looks like there was a successful stun in there as well. Red team is running off, going to be trying to take as much of the blue jungle as they can get away with, as Tristana begins her march down the middle. Hopefully, this Amumu will start to build something other than Doran's items. I know that there's a... I think that is actually a build that suggests it, but with 1,200 gold, you really should turn one of these Doran's items into something else. Oh, wasted some power. Let's see right here. Let's see maxing. Tantrum. Maxing Tantrum. Getting some Despair. Not a lot into Bandage Toss. Tristana and Morgana are right now the main cannons. Riven's going to be able to do some damage as well, but right now what red team or blue team really needs out of Riven that she's not supplying at the moment is some tankiness. Hopefully she'll be able to buy something. She's got 1100. Cloth armor can be built into a couple things. Aegis would be good for this team right now because they just need something to help spread out some magic resistance that the team is kind of refusing to build at the moment. Morgana, once she gets that hourglass from the chain vest, that's going to be a great investment. But on the same note, I mean, if you look at where everyone is on this team, you look at the more successful blue team that is just miles and miles ahead of the amount of gold the blue team has at the moment. Oof, and that Taric is taking tons of damage, having to use his flash just to not be melted. And they're going to take Dragon really easily at this point. A terrible Dark Binding. There's no vision in that area, and Lee Sin is going to be jumping in on that Taric. He's going to try and heal himself. He's got tons of armor, but not enough to stop all that. A Dark Binding to Tormented Soil doing some damage, but it's negligible. And we finally are red team finally lost the turret a little bit ago. Ah, they lose a second turret with Riven trying to backdoor them, but at what cost? Ah, maybe at the cost of her own life if she doesn't get out of there soon enough. No, never mind, they could be staying in mid. We'll see how long this can last, and Riven can get some valuable money and some stacks. Oh, her Bloodthirster's full up, so she could be doing a ton of damage if she can get down here quick enough to help. But this so far is being a really successful push down the middle from red team. Let's see if Tarek ever manages. Oh, so Tarek's back. If he can make it back to the front, that'll help out a great deal. But currently we have Tarek and Tristana have both ported back. Tristana made a purchase. She has her Phantom Dancer, she has her Infinity Edge, and we're starting to get into the late game where that can really start to help her out against Graves and against other members of the team. We just have certain things to deal about the fact that Vladimir, who now has a WOTA, he now has that death cap. He's going to be doing tons of damage, he's going to be regaining tons of life, and he's also going to be helping out Cassiopeia, who, if she's near him, is going to be regaining life. Gianna, not that it really matters, will be regaining some life as well. Oh, Amumu has built an Aegis of Legion, that's great, and we now have a Guardian Angel on Riven, so hey, the item builds could be turning against Red Team. I'm seeing, is that... And this tower is going to absolutely melt underneath the damage of Riven and Tristana. Kind of a wasted ult from Gianna, not quite sure why she did that. Oh, but they have separated... they had separated Tristana from the rest of the team. Let's see what they do. Blue team is going to be trying to head up north, or they'll try to base back, which could go really terrible because... There we go. Yeah, exactly. You should spit that poison. Tristana is going up north to farm. Not sure if she can escape. She does have some okay escape mechanics, but I mean, she has no vision at the moment. They don't really know where red team is, and that could be very dangerous. However, they can maybe work off the assumption that they're all just going to stick together and go mid and eat apart their jungle and head down to mid turret. Morgana, looks like she's trying to face check. Not quite sure what her plan is. Red team is pinging Baron. This is most likely to freak out blue team and force them to go into a Baron encounter against their own will. Oof, and they've caught Gianna out of bounds. Riven is doing tons of AoE damage. They've melted Riven. Vladimir is being saved by his pool, but that's not going to save him for too long. Gianna's shield helping him. And let's see here, Tristana melting Graves. Oh my god. But Graves managed to take down Amumu. We got Lee Sin doing tons of damage, and Cassiopeia is the MVP of this team right now, going to be doing tons of damage to Riven, chasing them down. If she lands a successful Q, she's going to get some movement speed. Let's see what happens right now. Tristana jumps over, a beautiful jump, kills Lee Sin, and manages to score an ace with the help of Tristana. Let's see what she does right now. She's got plenty of life. Does she have it? Yeah, she has some Doran's life steal, so from the damage that she does, she's going to be able to march up middle. Gianna's back. I don't know what kind of damage Gianna can do for her, but as you can see, with the moderate lifesteal she has from those Doran's Blades, she is just marching up mid, doing plenty of damage. Let's see what kind of tactics she takes. Riven is going to be handling their jungle at the moment. Both of them are going to try and get as much money as possible. Morgana's got that Zhonya's Hourglass, so that is also great news, and the blue is pushing top, turning this around. We'll be seeing what happens. That was some really great plays right there. The Amumu ult was great. Riven does tons of just splash damage, so she was going in there. And blue is finally getting to use their blue buff. And red turrets are just falling left and right. They've closed the gap to just 4.5k behind. And every second they're pushing it closer. However, they have split up. So let's see what happens right there. They do have pretty good vision in the blue territory. So if they catch Morgana out of bounds, that could be very bad for them. Let's see here. Riven is picking up her second BF sword. So she's got a Guardian Angel, second BF sword. Tristana has built a Negatron cloak, which is most likely going to be a Quicksilver stash soon. Not quite sure why she isn't building any lifesteal at the moment. Ooh, a successful Dark Binding down on Vladimir. He's unable to get anywhere, and his pool doesn't actually go anywhere as well. Thought he could pull out of anything, but you know what? I scare easily. Morgana's getting a wee bit too aggressive, dodging that miasma. Kind of falling for the laughs of the enemy team. Gianna popping her up, using the black shield after the nick of time. Oof, but successfully blocking a Q from Cassiopeia. They're not demolishing blue wards. And red is kind of just being pushed back to their base. An amazing turn of events. We'll take a look at what's happening right now. Red is worrying about their bottom turret, while blue team moving as a group. They know exactly where they are, though. So we'll see what blue team does with what red team does with this knowledge of blue team's location. They are going to start pushing. Tristana is going to melt that tower. And if they can manage to keep, I mean, their goal, if they can keep Tristana alive for longer than a few seconds, there is nothing on that team that is going to last a few seconds after being focus fired by Tristana. So we'll see what happens right now. Tristana, does she have her ult at the moment? Yes, she does have her ult, so we'll be seeing that going down. More of that great poke from red, but right now it's starting to feel like all they have at the moment is poke. A successful Morgana flash ult or anything. Well, if they hit a Mumu, they hit Morgana. That's going to be a great ult combo. Tristana's going to do tons of damage. We'll see what happens. And everything I was describing earlier is now going down for blue team. The lanes are getting pushed minion-wise in the favor of blue team. And Amumu has started his laugh of death. Riven has already hit level 18. Jeez. And blue team is starting to take golems, so they are going to be keeping Cassiopeia away from that valuable mana that she needs. Up. What will happen? Will Amumu manage to get that blue golem? Yeah, right now the lanes are kind of frozen. I'm guessing his idea was to head like over here and then bandage over into ult. But it looks like red team is starting to lose faith. I don't know. I think Cassiopeia just went off and bought something. Not quite sure. I don't like how aggressive blue team is getting. I think that they are just starting to get a little bloodthirsty, which could go very bad for them. But who knows, it could also go very good for them, who knows. Oof, a Shirley Rally popped. They're going to have tons of damage speed. Morgana, if she goes down, this could be all kinds of bad. Oh, she uses Zhonya's Hourglass without using her ult. What a bad idea. Riven ports in there, also kind of a bad idea. And Amumu gets completely butchered. Tristana is not going to be able to take advantage of her team's damage and sustain, and she is going to get absolutely melted by Cassiopeia's damage. Look at that, and a terrible, terrible... Oh, and they have vision. Shot out of the air, oh my god, and a terrible, terrible ace. A pentakill from Graves, it looks like. Good for him. But bad, bad, bad for the blue team. What a terrible engagement. Oh, Tristana just stood there and let... Oh, not a Quicksilver Sash at all, but a Banshee's Veil. And with... I mean, a lot of bad decisions are made right now. This may have just cost them the game. Morgana, she should have popped her ult when she popped Zhonya's. I mean, if she got caught in a position like that and she was hoping that her team was going to come back, she either needed to sacrifice it, make it clear to her team that she was sacrificing herself so they could get away, or she needed to do some damage if she was going to pop her Zhonya's like that, and then pop her ult. Now she has neither Zhonya nor ult, but Zhonya's will be back in a few seconds. I don't know, it's just very depressing to see something go down like that. Though I guess I am kind of biased in every match I've done where I'm kind of always rooting for blue team. Lower left for the win. Well, let's see right now. Baron could easily become a possibility right now. Both teams are back. Red team has proved to themselves at the current moment, at least, that they are more than able to deal with anything the blue team could throw at them. I mean, blue team just looked silly in that fight. Oh, missing a Dark Binding on Lee Sin. They're going in there. Morgana ult is hitting the Amumu ult. Finally, a correct use of Zhonya's Hourglass, but Morgana is going to go down to Vlad. Amumu is going to go down to Graves. Vladimir is going to be doing tons and tons of damage. Tristana is going to try and escape, but it's not going to work. She is shooting as best she can with her range, but you know what? Another... Nope, not an ace yet, but it's... She's not running into friendly territory right there. Another terrible engagement. Oh, I guess they're just getting out-damaged by a team that is leading them by 7k. They had a chance. But I don't know if they're focusing the right people. If this is where it ends, I am going to rewind. We're going to look at that battle. We're going to see what happened right there. Oof, yeah, they're not going to be able to slow them down. Graves should be able to. And an ace. We're either going to get a GG or a broken tower at the moment here. So we have the victory. So let's see, can I turn this around? Or am I not able to do that? Alright, so we know this is over. So here's the engagement that ended all engagements. Okay, so this is where we're leading up to where, okay. Oh, hey, we can actually move in at slow speed. That's kind of cool. So we can see right here that Tristana and Riven are trying to get there. Even with this Banshee Veils, it's not going to help her. So all hell breaks loose right about now when Morgana walks into Red Vision. They know exactly where she is. She misses with a Dark Binding, a very crucial Dark Binding. And... let's see here, Amumu hits with bandages. Morgana uses her ult. Amumu uses his ult well after he should have, doing only negligible damage. Riven melts Lee Sin, but you know what? He doesn't seem to be the problem, as Grave gets away with killing. He gets away with killing Amumu. And who's dead right now? So Morgana, one of their main damage dealers, completely dead at the moment, and Amumu is gone. I guess this is bad for them right now. But if they could have managed to kill Vladimir, this could have been good for them. So let's see what happens right here. Gianna using a great ult, healing people up. Riven, Guardian Angel going off. Okay, so let's see at the moment here. They are doing the right thing. Look at this. They are focus firing down Tristana, who needs to jump over here. So what happens? Tristana is there. Riven is there. Tristana needs to get the hell out of there. But what does she do? She tries to shoot, and she is shooting Cassiopeia, but is staying in range of her. Graves managing to hit her with a smoke bomb. And that was just terrible. What happened right there? And we know how this all goes down. But yeah, she needed to get away, and I think that, I guess what you can kind of learn from that in a teamfight situation is that you need to know when to run away. Because that Tristana could have been here. Riven and Tristana could have put up a much better fight together right here under those towers than alone. They might have actually gotten away with killing that Cassiopeia. What kind of a depressing game. A pretty decent game at that, but just a bummer. Know when to use your Zonias, know when to use your ultimates. And also, I think when you look at the item build, you can see a little bit more help going down there on what people were building. I mean, at this point, Graves was built. He had a Last Whisper, a Phantom Dance. This is a complete build right here. I mean, he was leading to a Bloodthirster with that Vampiric Scepter, but he was going to be demolishing armor, so he was beating up Tarek easily, beating up Riven easily. The Zonia's Hourglass didn't matter. And he was going to be able to hurt Amumu as well. I mean, he took down Amumu in that fight real easily because of that Last Whisper and all the damage he had. Cassiopeia and Vladimir made sure to have plenty of spell vamp. So they were healing themselves up. There wasn't a lot of lifesteal in the Tristana, so several times when you saw her like kind of staying behind and shooting things to regain health, she just really didn't have the lifesteal stats to do that. And she'd just been willing to run away. And, you know, we had a little while ago back here when they had that jungle fight when Morgana popped Zonias without doing anything else. If she had popped ultimate Zonias, that could have changed that team fight. So just very little things, and it's character familiarity, and also just not freaking out. I can say all these things right now because I'm not playing. Had I been in that situation, probably would have freaked out. Probably would have been dead. But, you know, it's a learning experience, so if... You know, good stuff. Blue team could have totally steamrolled them, but it didn't happen. So, that's another Late Night Low. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.